What's going on, everyone? This is Johnny Blackman here, and if you had to choose the hardest working grunt suit in the Universal Century and the 1 Year War, without a doubt you'd probably hear the Zaku II is it, with the Jim being a close runner-up. That's right, today's episode is dedicated to the Zaku II as it is seen in the 1 Year War. We'll be taking a look at 4 Zaku II kits specifically, along with a couple of small accessories. And who the hell is Johnny Ridden? It's tough to not recognize the Zaku II profile as soon as you see it. For those that are unaware or new to Gundam, the Zaku II is the mass production suit used during the 1 Year War by Zeon. Unlike the Earth Federation Space Force and the Earth Federation Force, Zeon is cranking out Zakus like it's nobody's business. There are different types, different varieties, slightly different uses, and they are really sticking it to the Earth Federation up until the arrival of the RX-78. If you've seen an episode before, you know that I love using analogies, and the analogy I'll use in this comparison is between the early days of Nintendo and Sega in America. A lot of the marketing was basically that Sega takes on the cool aspects and Nintendo is champion of more wholesome gaming. And that kind of comes out in the design of the Zaku II. The spiky shoulder armor, the mono eye, and pipettes really set apart the Zaku II grunt suit from the Gym. Nothing against the Gyms. They serve their role and they are great for the Earth Federation, but in all honesty, you've got to ask yourself, do they look as cool as a Zaku II? And I'll just leave it at that. When building and curating my Zaku II collection, I wanted to reflect the level of diversity within the lineup of Zaku IIs in my kits. So I've chosen 4 to show that I've brought into my collection that are different in a few ways, design-wise and kit-wise. 2 of the models shown are the real grade Zaku II, which are fairly similar. One is the Johnny Ridden high mobility variant and the standard green Zaku II. The high grade Zakus that I've chosen to bring into my collection are the Thunderbolt version Zaku II with the big gun and the Black TriStar high mobility Zaku featured in Gundam The Origin. I really enjoy seeing the real grade Zaku II as it is done with Gatoki style detail and decaling. You will not see a more detailed base level Zaku II until you get to the master grade or high grade The Origin version. So for me, the real grade is doing a lot between the sliding armor gimmicks, the separate shades of green, and the level of Gatoki style decaling and panel lining. The high grade high mobility Zaku II borrows the high mobility backpack we've seen in Thunderbolt or Gundam Thunderbolt because the operations are largely based in space. So it's a scaled down backpack from what you would see on the Psycho Zaku and fitted onto a Zaku II. The Thunderbolt Zaku also came with the big gun. Now I had to have this large piece of ordnance. It's unusual and it's not typical of most kits or most high grade sets. So if you see one, grab it up because the scale of this is impressive. Right out of box, the Thunderbolt Gundam and the high grade big gun Both deserve a bit of paint, so you'll notice I've added a coat of black to the legs of the big gun and to the high mobility backpack and weapons of the high grade Zaku II. The armor of the Zaku II has been added another shade of green just to give it some more depth and contrast and give it a personality more akin to the real grade versions. I've also added a few decals, both from the included set of sticker style decals with the set and a few water slides just to flesh out the look. I didn't go over the top, but I think they look great as a set and they match my real grade kits just perfectly. As I was building these 4 kits together, the resounding theme of the build became firepower. The big gun comes right out of the gate with a huge piece of ordnance, as well as guns strapped to its backpack like the Psycho Zaku. The Johnny Ridden's real grade comes with 2 bazookas. Now that might be overkill, but hey, for the Zaku grunts going against Armory, they need all the help they can get. Because of this, I said, you know what? Let's add on even more weapons, and I picked up the system-based 10 set of guns and rack to add on to their optional armory. The Johnny Ridden Zaku seen here is holding what appears to be a mortar shell from the set. I painted the tip green, and just for an added level of badassery, he's holding it ready to do some damage. The Black Tri-Star Zaku from the Gundam The Origin anime is very unique because it is exclusive to the anime. During the original run of Mobile Suit Gundam in 1979, the Black Tri-Stars famously pilot the custom Dom. However, in the Origin anime, they're seen piloting modified high mobility Zaku IIs, and you'll notice that the Johnny Ridden and the high mobility Zaku II feature an extra set of verniers on their legs. It gives them an extra boost, which as ace pilots, they're definitely equipped to handle. Of the 3 versions of the Black Tri-Star High Mobility Zaku II, I chose the Ortega version because it comes with the giant heat hawk. This weapon is unique to Ortega in Gundam The Origin, so I had to have it. Every other Zaku pictured comes standard with the rifle and small heat hawks, so hey, you have to go big or go home. And between the big gun and the giant heat hawk, these 2 kits definitely hold their own on the shelf by themselves. Now, I'll be the first to admit when I don't know something, and I definitely do not know anything about this Johnny Ridden character other than, I will say, I do like his name. I'm a little bit biased, but hey, Johnny's in Johnny's corner. And that he has a rivalry with Char, apparently, that his name is the Crimson Lightning, his mobile suit is red, and he's doing damage on the space side of things. Very cool. One last takeaway is to, in general, if you're less familiar with the lore or the Zaku II as a suit, just know that there is a variant for just about any occasion. And if there isn't, they've probably upgraded to a completely different suit, such as the Dom or the Goof in the lore. But yeah, the Zaku II is a badass grunt suit with a lot of different options if you're looking to collect. The lineup of Ace Pilot Zaku kits is also impressive if you go and seek those out. They are usually featured in a unique color, such as the Johnny Ridden Zet Red or the Uma Lightning Blue. The Shin Matsunaga White are just a few examples, so feel free to look those up on your own and tell me what you think about those. To piggyback off the idea from last episode of diversifying your collection, I had to come to terms with not being able to find a real grade Black TriStar High Mobility Zaku II. And quite honestly, the high-grade Gundam The Origin version looks great and poses well. And the same can be said for the Thunderbolt version Zaku II and Big Gun set. Thanks for tuning into the episode, everyone. Remember to choose your grunt suit well. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you next time.